Welcome back to Ask Dr. Clarke. Today's topic, and by the way, before I mention today's topic, this is our 100th YouTube video. I'm just saying, God is good, and thank you for your support. Here's today's topic. Is workaholism emotional abuse? If you have a marital crisis, go to my website to see all my resources. David E. Clarke, Clarke with an E, davideclarkephd.com. And you can talk to me using my phone advice service. Many are doing that, and that's what I'm doing mostly now. 95% of what I do are these phone advice sessions. I'll talk to you, I'll get the background, whatever the crisis is in your marriage, your relationships, and I'll give you a plan of action moving forward. If you like what I'm doing in these videos, me and my team subscribe to my YouTube channel and tap the like button and leave a rating and a review and a comment. This all helps us grow and help more people. Now, before today's question, a quick mention of my new online contest. I'm asking for your help to select the right subtitle, and subtitles are important for my next self-published book, which is going to be called Adult Children Who Break Your Heart. We're looking at a release date probably mid to late January 2023. I need your input, and I value it for the subtitle. Go to the website, davideclarkephd.com, and go to the new page, which is going to be called Adult Children Who Break Your Heart. You'll see that page. Go to that page, and all will be explained. You'll see 4 possible subtitles on that page, and then explanation of how to send your choice to me. And it runs until September 13th, this contest. And then the winners, who'll be randomly selected, will receive free any one of the books listed on my website. Okay, today's question. From a YouTube subscriber. Dr. Clarke, on occasion I search spouse workaholic, and the results usually yield snippets of a counselor lightheartedly addressing the issue, often accompanied by laughter. Yeah, it's not very funny, is it? It's not to this lady or anybody living with a workaholic. She continues, for well over 15 years, my husband has been a workaholic, even surviving a brain hemorrhage, swearing he had seen the light, has not altered his behavior. Oh, you know what? That tells you everything you need to know. He's not going to ever change. Brain hemorrhage? He blew right past that wake-up call. She says, you spoke so strongly about shunning, and when I did that 13 years ago, I actually took those very steps. She stopped cooking dinner. She stopped doing his laundry. She said it was easy, really, because he came home around 8 p.m. anyway and travels at least 8 days out of every month, but more usually the norm is 15 to 20 days a month. Well, you can't have a marriage. My point is, okay, you tried. You have to move to the next level. She says she travels to other countries because of his work. She lists a whole list of these foreign countries. I mean, he's a very important person, obviously. Eventually, she says she quit her part-time job. She mentions in parentheses, we have no kids. He kept putting off kids until it was too late. That's another deep wound, obviously, maybe the biggest of all. So she quit her job so she could travel with him. And then he became super resentful that I quit my job. He didn't even want her on these trips. He became resentful that I quit my job and began scheduling his overseas trips back to back. That's payback, and that's pathetic and emotional abusive. So now here we are, she says, I have little interest in starting over with anyone new, little to no drive to leave my home to start fresh someplace new, and we live strictly as roommates now, no intimacy. Well, what are you married for? It's ridiculous. Sad, very sad. She says, I've just come to be thankful for the peace my home and friendships bring. I'm sure there's peace there when he's not there, but nonetheless, I've accepted that he enjoys what he does, his ego is boosted by his rock star status at work, and he gets the accolades his father never gave him. Yeah, well, that's why he's doing it. My point is, who cares why he's doing it? He's not going to stop doing it. I can't compete with that, she says, and you shouldn't have to compete with that. So thank you for acknowledging the seriousness of workaholism. It is serious. Recognizing it as a sin. It absolutely is a sin. And the complete abandoning of a relationship. That's exactly what it is. It's rejecting and abandoning your spouse while still living with them. And then her final question, and she knows what I'm going to say about this. Would you say workaholism is emotional abuse? Okay, here's my answer. Short answer, yes. By all means, yes. So many are in your shoes, I responded to this lady. Our culture glorifies and worships work. Always has, still does. In most cases, the church gives it lip service, nothing more. In fact, many in ministry are also workaholics. I've talked to so many pastors and their wives who are working 80 hours a week at the ministry and are burned out and destroying their marriages and families and doing it for the Lord, in quotes. Now, I've always struggled with workaholism. I am a workaholic. Hello, my name is Dave, and I'm a workaholic. Sandy keeps me on the right path. My best friend Bob Johns keeps me on track. I have to watch it. I know what I'm talking about here. I used to tell Sandy, I'm working for you and the kids, all 4 of them. She'd say, baloney, you're working for yourself. And she was right. Ministry workaholics often say, I'm working for Jesus. Jesus would say, that's a lie. You're working for yourself. A workaholic who will not change is an emotional abuser. He is in serious sin. Listen to Ephesians 5:25. This verse blows my mind every time I read it. Paul says, husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. That pretty much says it all. You are to be his number 1 priority, humanly speaking. Nothing else should be close. He is to meet your needs above all others on earth, including himself. He is to sacrifice to love you and meet your needs. This guy's doing none of that. He's doing what he wants to do, which is working. When he's finally done working and he can't work anymore, he'll be the most miserable person on earth. That'll be his own dumb fault. Also, his work is his idol. He worships it. That is sin. He is hurting you and he couldn't care less. He has destroyed your marriage and he couldn't care less. He has ignored God's warning, that brain hemorrhage, and he couldn't care less. This is selfishness. This is zero empathy. This is total lack of respect for you. This is a form of narcissism. He denied you children because of his workaholism. That's hateful and cruel and narcissistic. He was super resentful that you quit your part-time job. Why? He's never around anyway. Selfish, narcissistic, and just plain stupid and mean. That's who this person is. Jesus, as busy as he was in his earthly ministry, took time out to pray, to be refreshed, to recharge. And Jesus balanced ministry and work with building relationships with those close to him. So workaholism is emotional abuse, and it's a form of narcissism. Now, I'm talking to this lady and all of you who are in her situation. You can stay with your workaholic if you want and build your own separate life, but you don't have to stay. I recommend you leave. I recommend you read my book, Enough is Enough, and take the steps in my plan of escape and get away from this kind of person. Leave him alone with his job. That's his mistress, and you can move on with your life.